On this week's episode, we talk about why broccoli is the greatest food on earth, the pros and cons of different protein shakes on the market, and what foods we may need to avoid if we have high blood pressure. Welcome to episode 5 of Lifestyle Construction Show. I'd like to start this week's show with a conversation I had with someone who's currently going through the classes right now. His name is Vince, and Vince told me this week, after 8 weeks of the Lifestyle Construction program, that he has now lost 40 pounds and that he only came because his wife made him. He said, "I came kicking and screaming because my wife insisted that I do it." Now he is certainly happy that he's done it. He has been able to discontinue all of his prescription medications. He never really slept well. Now he's sleeping great. And he told me that he didn't believe again in the beginning, but now if I told him to eat spiders, he would eat a whole bowl full. So the cool thing is that people have these kind of results and they very quickly change their mindset about this program and they want to follow it for the rest of their life, which is the whole goal behind the Lifestyle Construction program. All right, let's get into this week's first question, which comes from Freddie.
Freddie asks, I'm currently on thyroid and high blood pressure meds. Are there any diets or vitamins that will help me get off of them?
Well, first of all, let me start, Freddie, by saying that I am not a physician and this is not medical advice. However, many folks who have gone through the Lifestyle Construction program have been able to, upon their advice of their doctors, be able to discontinue all of their meds. We've had people discontinue as many as 16 prescription meds and 5 insulin shots within the 12-week time frame. And many have done less than that, but that's the most that we have at this point. But the beauty of what you asked, Freddie, about thyroid and blood pressure is that one's fairly easy and one is not so easy. So let's start with the not so easy. The thyroid. Remember, replacing thyroid, even with the prescription medication, is natural hormone that the body knows and recognizes and understands how to utilize it. So that one is tough because so many different factors, from toxins and inflammation and foods that we eat and drink and things that we're exposed to through radiations and things from cell phones and just all the technology that we're around today, make the thyroid a very tough issue in a lot of cases to correct, or even to figure out exactly why the thyroid's not functioning properly. That being said, there are people who have had great improvements in their thyroid function using the principles of the program and the pillars of the Lifestyle Construction program. And there have been those who've been able to discontinue their thyroid medications completely. But that is not as easy as the second part of your question, which is about blood pressure meds. The blood pressure increases typically are caused from a few reasons. One can certainly be dehydration. 2 could certainly be overweight, which adds about 250 miles per pound that we're overweight that the heart and kidneys have to pump against, which obviously can be a bigger workload and make the body increase the pressure. But third and most common, what we find that causes the high blood pressure is really inflammation. And so by following the pillars of the Lifestyle Construction program, we're taking away and eliminating the factors that typically cause the inflammation. So the same things that cause the inflammation for the high blood pressure issues are the same things that we discussed last week about the inflammation in the autoimmune diseases. So when we take those away, the inflammation improves, and many folks are then directed by their physician that they no longer need their blood pressure medication. And that is fairly common for people who go through the program. And in terms of the foods that we would eat to help with the inflammation, we want to do a high-fat, adequate protein, quality carbohydrate diet, and there are certain food groups that we do need to cut out, such as dairy. Let's take away the dairy. Let's replace it with things like coconut milk and almond milks and things like that. And let's see if we can tone down the inflammation and your blood pressure will improve.
Tina asks, what type of protein shake on the market is the best to achieve an overall result? And what are your thoughts on these products?
There are so many products on the market that it does make it hard to know what to do, and you hear one thing from one source and another thing from another source. So let's kind of try to get through what the research really shows and what we've really experienced in real life, okay? When we look at the different proteins on the market, the first thing we need to understand is that most of the proteins on the market, first of all, have high levels of toxins in them. They have high levels of different heavy metals. Many have been recalled recently due to these kinds of issues that have been above the maximum allowed levels. So there's been a lot of recalls on different proteins. So that kind of hits that we have to get to the best quality no matter what we're fueling our body with. So that's the first step. The second step is there's different types of protein on the market. We have soy protein, we have whey protein, we have collagen protein, and there's certainly others, but those are the three most prevalent. Well, let's start by saying that soy protein can have lots and lots of side effects. I know it's touted as a healthy product, but actually soy contains a lot of phytoestrogens, which can interfere with our hormone systems. It can interfere and suppress our thyroid function in many cases. And so we typically never recommend soy be used in protein shakes, drinks, or in any foods actually. Here in the United States, almost all of it is genetically modified, and there's so many issues with soy that we could go into that it's best left just to say that we want to avoid soy. The most complete protein and the one that we have the best results with certainly are whey protein. We have a different kind and quality of whey protein than most of the products on the market though. It's grass-fed whey protein with no hormones, no antibiotics, and certainly no genetically modified ingredients in it. It's great for your skin, your hair, your nails. It's great for wound healing. It's great for building muscle while burning fat. It is a complete protein and just has tons of benefits. And the beauty of it is it tastes great and it doesn't have added sugars to it. The third protein that I mentioned earlier was collagen protein. We again use a grass-fed, non-GMO, no hormone, no antibiotic collagen protein because obviously the skin and the tissues and the joints are made up of collagen. So we can combine whey protein with collagen protein and get a great source of all the amino acids and more that the body needs. And we feel good, and it helps the body again burn fat, build muscle, which is one of the big goals that we're trying to help people achieve.
Lithographer asks, why is broccoli so great for us?
All right, broccoli, that is a great source of all vitamins and minerals. Broccoli is also the number one vegetable, fruit, or food, period, in all the genetic studies, or in most of the genetic studies that show that it turns on good genes, the ones that we want turned on, and turns off bad genes, the genes that we don't want turned on. So broccoli is something that I encourage people in the lifestyle construction program, and I'm going to encourage you now to eat on a daily basis. It is great for you raw, it's great for you sauteed, it's great for you any way you can get broccoli and get it in. Of course, we're recommending organic broccoli that doesn't have the herbicides and pesticides on it, but broccoli is the number one food to turn off bad genes, turn on good genes, which is certainly something we want to do because there's a belief, it seems, that all these different diseases, or a lot of these different diseases that Americans suffer with and that we suffer with commonly, is that they're genetic and that we have them because our grandparents or our parents or our brother or sister or whoever had them. And actually the research today really doesn't lead us to that conclusion, but it more leads us to we turn on bad genes or turn off good genes from the things that we eat and drink and the things that we put into our body. So that's why broccoli is extremely important to eat on a daily basis, or certainly a weekly basis. This week's tip of the week for episode 5 is about movement and exercise. If you're the type of person who hasn't been exercising much or any at all, we want everybody to start this week with a 5 to 10 minute workout that almost anyone can do. which will be on the screen and includes some running in place, some squatting, and some jumping jacks. Start slow, but be consistent. At least 2 to 3 times a week, try to get in this 5 to 10 minute workout for a great beginning. For those of us who may exercise and may sit at a desk all day or stand in a place all day, the research is very clear that if we could get up and move or move from that standing position once an hour, it doesn't have to be far, it doesn't have to be much, but every hour get up or move around a little bit, even if it's to walk to the bathroom, walk to the water cooler, walk somewhere, do something, just some movement, even if it's a squat in place. Some type of movement is proven to help us live longer and be healthier. And if I can encourage you all on the exercise and the movement, it releases endorphins that are more powerful than a lot of the drugs that we know about, like morphines and things for pain. It is as effective, if not more, for depression than a lot of the antidepressants. So exercise has so many benefits. Plus, it can certainly help me burn fat and build muscle. Thanks for watching this episode of Lifestyle Construction Show. Please make sure and share this video with as many folks as you can, because I told you from week 1 that my mission is to help as many people as will listen how to obtain optimal health, wellness, and fitness. And the only way that I can reach those people is if you help me by sharing these videos. Please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. And please go to billyweeks.com and sign up for our newsletter. We are developing new products. We're rolling out new things all the time, working on them at the Lifestyle Construction Show. So please stay tuned, because we're very excited about the things that my team and I are working on that you'll know about in the future. Thanks.